Hey guys, I'm learning TFT and I'm back with another video where I am documenting and sharing my learning process, both to help me to get better and for you to be able to hopefully benefit as well. In this video, I'm going to continue another part of a previous video I did on Bossoskill, a challenger player who strongly recommends focusing on stage 2 in the early game. This is particularly true if you're a masters player or lower. That's where a lot of people have leaks in their game. If you can figure out how to win stage 2, whether that's a win streak or a loss streak, or just overall play a solid stage 2, that will make the rest of your game way easier. It's the same reason that in chess, so many people focus on your early game in chess, because if you can create a solid foundation in your opener in chess, then that just creates so much easier of a mid game for you and then much easier of a late game for you. The same thing applies to TFT. And so the exercise that we're going to do that we already did before is going to be going through some of my stage 2 games, and I'm going to pause the video at the start of each fight, and you can also pause the video as well and predict what's going to happen. So we're basically going to play Bortle, but with a real actual board, see how the fight plays out, and then figure out what's the gap between what actually occurred and what your prediction is. And that gap in your assumptions is where you have the most learning opportunity. So I actually have a coaching session with Bossoskill tomorrow. We'll see if I can actually record and publish that video. And so this homework assignment is going to be in preparation for that. Before I get started, I also want to reference some comments that came up since my last video. Waris or War is 085 said, my execution score is D. How do I improve this skill? And actually my execution skill is like a C right now in tactics.tools. And you'll see that they define execution based off of your expected place with your units and items versus how well you actually perform. It depends on the little things. Make sure you play the strongest board you can play in the early game to preserve as much HP as possible. So this exercise should help you if your execution score is pretty low, which frankly, if your masters or lower, GM or lower, odds are your execution score is pretty low. In fact, there's plenty of GM and challenger players who also have low execution scores. It's the really elite players that have like S or S plus because they do all those small things, especially in the early game, really well. It also includes making sure that you're scouting and positioning your scouting really well, because that can be the difference in how you win a fight. And so much of this analysis that we're going to do in stage 2 is really making sure you understand how your units work together, what units are strong, how much do items and augments strengthen your team versus your opponent. So we're going to go through all of that. And Big T, thank you for responding to War is. Big T mentions, most likely you're sacrificing too much HP early. You get knocked out after the first few losses. Maybe you're greeding for BIS too much in your items. This is something that happens a lot for, I would say, diamond or lower players, is that you're greeding for your BIS, because especially if you have like 3 or 4 components on your bench, you're at most going to get one other component on carousel, and so you're losing. Arguably, you could be the difference between having, let's say, 4 components slammed versus 4 components on your bench for an entire stage. That could be like 20, 30 plus HP, and that could be the difference between you finishing 7th or you finishing 4th. So slamming items makes a really big difference. Next, I wanted to call out Mattery6. Just really appreciate all the people that have been giving me a lot of support. You're different from other content creators with the quality and length. I really like those long discussions you do. And so I'm going to use some of this feedback as justification for me continuing to do a little bit of a spiel on learning at the start of each video, a little bit of philosophy, a little bit of psychology, tied in application-wise to how all of us can become better TFT players, but also just stuff that's useful for life in general. Same thing with My Musical Dream. You mentioned that my videos remind me of, I haven't watched this podcast, Broken by Concept, where it's not just about the lessons in regards to TFT or League, but valuable lessons for daily life. And so Thank you to everyone again that has supported me in this. I especially like talking about philosophy and like broader, deeper stuff, and I suspect that people that play TFT generally do, because TFT is one of the more complex, like really deep games. And so I think there is something to the psychology of TFT players that really enjoy this stuff. So if the early intros are too long for you, just skip. Go to the descriptions. I always provide timestamps across the different sections of the video, so you can go ahead and skip the intro if it's not something you're interested in. All right, so I actually just started. Someone reached out to me to do some coaching, and I did one session with him, and he was asking me, he hit masters for the first time recently, and after our coaching session, he got up to like 130 LP or something, and he was like, every time he wins, he barely gains any LP, and anytime he like loses, he's dropping a ton of LP. So he's asking me whether it's worth it to even play like ranked games, and my response to him was basically just don't worry about LP. If you are focused on learning something new every day, every game that you play, learning from your mistakes, that your LP is a lagging indicator of your knowledge of the game and your ability to learn. So if you are constantly working on improving yourself, focused on getting better, the LP will follow. So I've also like gone through phases where I care a lot about, like, let's say making a tournament snapshot, and those are the situations where I get too focused on the LP and I burn out. But when I am just having fun and I'm learning and just playing the game more naturally, if my commitment is to a long-term process of learning, then I naturally, like, the LP just gets better. That's just been what's happening as of late for me. And so Jeff Colvin wrote a book called Talent is Overrated. You hear all the time in sports, even in TFT, like, oh, Setsuko's just naturally talented. It seems like he doesn't work hard, or maybe he doesn't have the work ethic of, let's say, a dish soap. But generally speaking, this is like backed by a lot of research. The best performers set goals that are not about the outcome, but about the process of reaching the outcome. So instead, if your goal is to get better at TFT, for example, your best bet is not to say, oh, my goal is to hit Diamond 1 or Masters or Challengers. Like that's not actually the best way for you to optimize your performance. Like, this is what scientific research tells us. The best way for you to improve your rank in TFT is to set goals around the process of reaching the outcome. So for example, for myself, instead of saying, oh, my goal is to get to like top 100 in NA, or to be able to qualify more consistently for tournaments, what I would say is my goal is to do at least half an hour of research or an hour of research every day, and publish a video where I am actively talking out loud, talking through the learnings that I have, so that I can assimilate and integrate that information better. I can learn that material better, which will help me be able to improve in the games. Or I can say my process is going to be, I'm going to review every game that I got bot 4 in to see what at least one or two major takeaways that I will never repeat those same mistakes again. That's a big thing I learned from Appies, is as long as you are always learning something from a game that you lost, that's not really a true loss, right? As long as you're focused on the process, not necessarily about the outcome, then the outcome will follow. This is one of my favorite sayings by Robert Louis Stevenson, the poet. He said, "Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you plant." So instead of focusing on like, hey, oh, I hit this LP target, or I climbed to another rank, like, all of your climbing is the result of a lot of hard work and learning you did in the past. So to focus excessively on what you're reaping today is to sacrifice the future. But when you are focused on planting seeds, when you're watering your plants, when they're growing, when you're focused on the right thing, not necessarily on just the fruits, but on all of the seeds that you could be growing for your future, that's when you're just going to be overflowed with fruit down the road. And when you aren't necessarily focused on just your immediate LP or short-term results. If you could focus on the long term, you'll be overwhelmed with abundant results in the long term. One more thing here. This is actually an idea from Daniel Kahneman from his book Thinking Fast and Slow. He's a psychologist on kind of decision making, on optimal ways to just optimize your brain. And based off of research, he found that an individual, your subjective state, so your perception of a thing, can be improved by framing negative outcomes as costs rather than losses. So this is a lot of his work is especially important to people in the finance industry, to gamblers, to sports bettors, poker players. Daniel Kahneman is very well known in like kind of poker player analysis, which frankly TFT is very similar. It's a game or an arena or a field that has probability, that has high stakes, which is true for investment, poker, and TFT. I mean, you could argue TFT doesn't have as high stakes. But when you have a negative outcome, if you view it as a loss, like let's say you hit bot 4 in a game, if you view it as a loss, that's going to hurt your mental and cause you to go on tilt a lot more than if you view that game as a cost. And the distinction between a loss and a cost is like from a business standpoint, you write off a loss, or let's say you have a stock that lost a bunch of money, you write that off as a loss. But when you view it as a cost, it then can be seen as an investment that you are making for some future benefit. Or you know how when you go to those like food markets and you walk down like kind of the middle aisle, or like where there's like a bunch of different food stores, and then people are handing out those small samples, like that's a cost. In business terms, that's actually called a loss leader, which is not like a great term for the purposes here. But the essential idea is like they're giving away small bits of their food as a taster, and it's a cost. But the expected value of them, giving away stuff for free is that some percentage of the people that try it are then willing to go to their restaurant, their store, whatever it is, to buy more stuff. And so when you view, let's say your games, when you lose a game as a cost, then you have to think about, okay, how can I recover that cost? How can I, convert that cost into a positive return? And so that's why I tweeted a while ago, your failures are not losses. Your failures are investments. They are valuable learning lessons that you paid for. So don't ignore or throw away your investments, cash them in, which means when you lose a game, instead of ignoring it and trying not to analyze what occurred, actually that's rich material there, which you see all the time in the real world when people make mistakes or they have a failed situation. Like they want to ignore it, they want to pretend it didn't happen, but that's actually the worst thing that you can do if your goal is to get better and to improve and to become an expert at whatever field you're in, right? Because your specific situation, and this is why Bossoskill was saying for this exercise that we're going to do, is to specifically look at your games, not necessarily, Dish Soap's games or Setsuko's games or Soju's games, because the mistakes that they make are not necessarily going to be the ones that you make. You have different patterns and instincts that are going to result in certain situations in the games that may not be replicated by other people. And so your specific failures or losses, if you can figure out how to convert those into costs and an investment psychology, you're going to be a lot better off in the long run. All right. So with that said, we're going to jump into the analysis where I'm going to go through prior to each round. I'm going to pause the video, and I would suggest to you, if you want to be really deliberate about this practice, first off, to do this for, record your own videos and do this analysis yourself. But if you just want to kind of go along with this, you can pause the video when I get to the start of each round and think through predict what's going to happen in the fight, whether we're going to win, lose, and by how many units. And then you can unpause and we can talk through what happened. The other reason that this is so valuable is, going back to that execution score, this kind of being able to predict what's going to happen allows you to figure out, are you going to be able to win streak? If you are able to win streak, should you push levels on 2-5? Should you push levels on 2-3? Should you pre-level? Should you slam items? Should you buy a charm? Like, so much of these analysis in stage 2 fundamentally come down to your ability to scout your opponents and predict what's going to happen. And so that ability to predict also affects your decision making in a significant way. It affects what item component you want to get off of carousel. So this exercise I found to be really useful, can help your stage 2 really well, and you can also do it for later parts of the game as well. So let's go ahead and get started. So right now I have mentorship, which boosts HP and attack speed for units that are nearby. And here we have 4 units versus 3. He has an upgrade Jace 2 and Shivanate. So he's definitely going to win the fight. The question is, do I even kill a single unit? Which, if I'm going to kill a unit, it's going to be this Jace, which I think is unlikely. So I'm going to say I'm going to lose by 4 units. And we almost killed a Jace, but don't get there. So we got that right. He also had no item component value, but because he had extra item component, he was able to win by a lot. All right, so we strengthened our board a little bit. And we still have the mentorship value on 2 of our units. Okay, I'm scouting and was not looking at our fight. Okay, so it's 3 versus 3. He has item component from there. He does have a Rage Blade slammed. And I had mentorship value on 2 of my 1 stars. So I'm going to guess, because he has the Rage Blade slam and 3 multi-strikers, I'm going to guess I lose this fight. I actually think it's probable that if he didn't have Rage Blade slammed, that I would probably win this, especially since Shyvana also CCs, so would stun these 2 for a little bit. But I think with the Rage Blade, he probably wins. And then I think I can kill this Hecarim for sure, and maybe this. So I think he wins by 1 unit. That's my prediction. He wins by the Ash. Oh, wow. Okay, so we won by 2. So I kind of want to see. All right, so an Ash 1 just doesn't have enough damage output for. Okay, and I had mentorship value. So I think I really underestimated the value of mentorship here. Gave these 2, I believe, an extra, like, I think it's like 120 HP per unit. So I got like an additional 240 or maybe 300 HP plus attack speed. And so maybe that even counters out this, because I think this is like 12% attack speed and this takes time to scale. And I don't think I accounted for Dragon and Shapeshifter here versus only his 3 multi-striker plus the stun of Shyvana. And I think just Jace in general is a very strong unit. So I'm just undervaluing Jace. Yeah, Jace dealt a good amount of damage. And actually even this Namzi dealt more damage than I would have expected. All right. Yeah, it's actually 300 HP additional for these 2 backline plus 12% attack speed each. So mentorship is actually quite strong early in the right situation. Which makes me wonder if it would have made sense to play this Hecarim over something to boost the Shyvana, but I guess this gives you 2 Hunter. All right, so he has 1 component slammed each, precise planning, so no combat value. I have combat value on 2 of my 1 costs here. I could slam an item. If I were to slam, I could slam Spark, JG, or QSS, which I'm pretty sure if I slammed it on like the Jace, I'd probably win the fight easily. Given that I'm not slamming, well, if I don't slam an item, what do I think is going to happen? There's going to be a lot of CC value on this Shyvana going through all three of these units. I'm still getting that mentorship value here. He has 3 multis, and this blitz is just a naked blitz, all 1 star. So from like a board cost standpoint, I think my board is higher in gold value by a little bit. Kog'Maw also will boost attack speed of all my units even further than mentorship. So I'm gonna guess I win this fight by the 2 backliners because his front line's pretty weak and his Ashe doesn't even have a completed item. Plus I have mentorship value. If I wanted to improve my board strength just slightly, I could just slam like a cloak like on Shyvana or Jace. I could even spread it out like cloak, glove, like rod or rod. Yeah, but I think I probably win by 2 even if I don't do anything. So Shyvana should go through all of that. Okay, so I'm gonna win by 3. I think I'm severely underestimating the value of this Jace 2 plus mentorship combined. My board's a lot stronger than I expected. And especially since I'm not even slamming any items yet. Alright, we're gonna skip ahead. Okay, so he's level 5, 2 full items, 2 2-stars. I have 1 2-star. So he easily wins the fight. Now the question is by how much? How many units can I kill? I don't think I kill this Warwick. And part of the question is, am I willing to slam an item? If I was gonna slam an item, I think it'd probably be, I mean, QSS is not a great early game slam. I could also slam JG here. Or just TG, although I don't usually like slamming TG early because then you can't get a fully itemized tank and carry. And actually with these gloves, I probably want to play Varus. But yeah, these, or I could slam a Spark, but Spark doesn't go with, like, these items are really weird. Even if I slammed items, even if I slammed both of these items, I would still lose, so it probably doesn't make sense to slam. Now the question is, how many units can I kill? I think at best I kill the Rumble and the Galio. He has 3 Vanguard and 2 Incanter in the back. These 2 will probably attack here. If the Shyvana attacks the Warwick and Jace here, I don't know if I kill anything. I think at best I kill 1. So I'm gonna predict I lose by 4. Either 4 or 3. Probably 4. Like, I don't think this Jace can take that guy out by himself. Okay. Yeah, that's right. I lost by 4. So now we have Jinx to get mentorship for all 3 of these units. Alright, he's level 5. Stone Plate, over encumber, so no combat power from the augment. Hunter and Frost. So the moment he kills probably this Jace first, there's going to be a Frost Soldier that spawns. So the question is whether I can kill this Swain at all. I'm definitely going to lose. Can I kill this Swain or like maybe this Warwick from just like kind of what CC around? He doesn't have Shapeshifter, so my guess is I can kill 1, at most 2, but I think I maybe just kill 1. I don't even know if I kill this one, so I would say I lose by 4. Let's see what happens. Okay, we killed, all right, we killed 2. All right, cool. So let's move on to game 2. All right, so here we're on the treasure golem, and he's at level 4 with 3 honey, 2 incanter. I have no traits active with big gains. He has combat caster. I believe I'm about to slam Shojin here on this Ziggs. Because he has more DPS, this should die first, which should give items here. So I'm gonna guess I can kill 2 units. So I lose by 3. But if he's not willing to slam anything and I have Shojin, maybe I can actually kill all 3 of these. So I'm gonna say I win by 2. These 2 survive. Oh, we didn't even find out what happened. Sorry about that. Well, we did lose. All right. So 2 Hunter against 2 Vanguard and 1 Ziggs. He has Inspiring Epitaph, which should boost shield and boost attack speed after this dies. But because I have the item slammed, I think I win this. Ziggs is also going to bomb these guys, perhaps before this even dies. So if these 2 die before this even dies, they don't get items. That would be really strong. I think at best he kills 2. I think I win by 2. Okay, we won by 3. Yeah, he just didn't have enough front line for that fight to play out. All right, so now we have 3 Honey, 2 Vanguard versus 3 upgraded 2 stars. Caretaker's Favor. So he's no combat power here. If he wanted to slam, he could slam Morello possibly, but seems like he's unlikely to slam. My Ziggs could, it depends where this blitz will probably walk up here, which means the Ziggs will probably bomb these 2 at the same time, but his DPS is probably higher than mine. The one thing with his DPS being higher is that this golem will probably die first compared to this one, which will make my units have an extra item earlier in the fight, which kind of is a little bit of an equalizer. And if I can kill this blitz in the meantime and go straight to the back line, I might have a shot. But I'm gonna guess he wins by, well, because I think these 2, I think if anything, this Twitch is the last survivor because Ziggs will probably kill these 2. So I'm gonna say he wins by just the Twitch 1. Let's see what, oh, this blitz walked on the wrong side, so I got easy backline access now. Wow, that wasn't even close. Okay, so much of this fight depended on blitz walking to this side. So this is actually very important if you ever play Ziggs. You don't want Ziggs here. Statistically speaking, Ziggs performs the best on this spot because he gets this open line to the enemy corner and this line here. And so because this, if his blitz was actually on this side, it would have blocked the Ziggs bomb straight to the back line here, and I wouldn't have been able to take these 2 out as fast. But because the Ziggs went here, I was able to easily kill these 2, and then this item value had way less value because I don't even think it went onto 3 units, did it? We'll watch that again. Okay, it did go onto 3 units, but I was able to get access to his backline much quicker than I expected. Okay. All right, let's skip ahead. All right, we're level 4. He's also level 4 with Wandering Trainer. No Pyro, no... Okay, 2 Scholar here, but not really much synergy value. He does have a Morello slammed with a tier. And pretty much no synergies. Well, I guess Dragon here. But that Dragon is like kind of redundant with the Morello. So let's see what's going to happen. Frontline's going to walk up. Ziggs, farthest unit. I don't know if farthest unit is the RE or the Nomzi. But I think I'm gonna guess I win this fight. His front line's really weak. Although I guess he has an extra dummy. And that dummy will actually block the Ziggs bomb from hitting the Nomzi. So maybe the dummy is actually the diff. Alright, I'm gonna guess I just lose by the Nomzi. So I lose by 1. Oh, the Ziggs bomb hit all 3 in the middle at the same time. Wow. I'm really not predicting these right. Okay. So the diff was actually because everyone clumped up. Okay, because I solo frontlined here, this golem, they all clumped up around the golem, which let me, this bomb is gonna hit this golem and hit all 4 of these units. So let's see what happens, right? Yeah, right here. Hit all 4 of the units. Huh. So with Ziggs, Ziggs really benefits from having a solo frontliner, like a stone plate, because they clump. And especially if you can get them to clump in this specific formation, even if this dummy wasn't here, you would have 3 units here. And part of it is poor positioning on his part. If this Nomzi was over here in the corner, the bomb would have gone this way, so maybe hit the Poppy and this golem, but it wouldn't have hit all 4. Like, that was unexpected. So the fact that they clumped around this golem and I got the bomb hit all 4 got so much value. And then here again, yeah, okay. So lesson learned, if you're playing against Ziggs, don't let your units all get clumped and then the enemy Ziggs throwing a bomb right at your middle unit. All right, I hit a Ziggs 2 now. He has 5 units to my 4. He's 100 streaking so far. He's Inspiring Epitaph, which is good with Treasure Golem. He does have his backline all spread out, though only 2 are ranged backlines, but that's better for him than if he had actually greeted the Kog'Maw attack speed value next to each other. Because if they were next to each other, then the bomb would hit the corner and hit them both. But now Ziggs needs to throw more bombs to be able to take them out. He also has a 2-star Nunu, which will get a lot of value from this treasure golem. So I'm going to guess I lose this fight. Especially because my Ziggs is going to take out this Twitch first. Maybe not. I mean, this bomb will probably go... This Rumble will probably walk here. Nunu walk here. And Blitz walk here. But this bomb will probably go towards this Rumble. These two. The thing is, if I can take this Rumble out and this Golem out first, and then take this Twitch out, if this Nunu and Blitz are kind of on the left side here, and I have an open path from Ziggs to Kog'Maw, then I might actually be able to win this fight. It's also, thinking about it more, in this specific positioning matchup, the Ziggs in this corner here might actually do better, because then these guys, especially if I position all my units to the left side, because then everyone will walk up, and then the farthest unit initially might actually be here. Maybe I don't put all my melee front, melee like kind of clumped in the middle, then these guys walk up here, in which case Ziggs would actually bomb Kog'Maw first. So that would actually be even more optimal positioning against this specific opponent. So I think I either win by 1, this Ziggs, or he wins by... I'm going to say he wins by 1 or I win by 1. I'm going to guess I win by 1 because I have a 2-star Ziggs, and his units are gonna clump. That's my guess. I win by Ziggs. All right, so we go straight for this in the back line, and then, okay, yeah, we can take out, oh, they blocked the Ziggs. All right, it was definitely not win by 1. All right, we lost by 3. All right, let's see what happened there. So we took out the middle and there was a clear path, but then these 2 units were clumped around this rumble, so then these 2 walked over. So this is actually a situation where if these 2 units were actually on the left, then these would have stayed over on this side and I would have been able to snipe the back. But even then, I don't think I would have been able to take out the Nunu, especially since it has an item. So this is probably just a loss. Yeah, I think I'm just, even if I take this out, this Nunu 2 is probably too strong. So I underestimated the strength of Nunu 2 here and valuing too much like taking out the back line. Okay. Next game. All right, so we took Slam in. And we're going to have red buff Shojin against Archangel, Morello, open bow, Frosty frontline. I have 3 portal, 2 witchcraft. He is clumped in the back and front here, so portal bombs will get some extra value. I actually don't know how strong this Frost Wolf is. I know this is like one of the best 2-1 augments to take, and Frost is very strong, but I haven't actually watched the fight much with this. So he has 5 units because of that. I have Slam in, so I don't have much, I don't have any additional combat power. So he definitely wins the fight, is my assumption. And at best, I kill these 3. I think more likely I just kill 2. So I'm going to say I lose by 3. Wow, this is much closer than I expected. Wow, I only lost by 1. Okay. How did that happen? I guess maybe because I slammed components. I don't know if components makes that big. And I forgot that he had a Frost Soldier that spawned too. Oh, okay. I think I'm just still underestimating the power of Portal. I should be viewing Portal as an extra unit, basically. I mean, Portal dealt as much damage as the Cassidin, and it's like giving my team attack speed. I don't know if it healed my units at all in that battle, but yeah, I should be treating Portal as almost like an extra unit. Okay. I have a level advantage. He has a 2-star Namzi. He has some fire slammed, but in terms of items slammed, we're roughly similar. And I have portal, so I'm gonna pretend I have 5 units with portal. So I believe I'm gonna win this fight. Question is, does he have enough burst? He doesn't have hunter, so I think maybe he kills like 2 of my units, and then I have 2 left. So I'm gonna win. Say I'm gonna win by 2. And I'm scouting to see what augments people have picked. So let's see what happens in our fight. Okay, we won by 2. All right, we hit an RE2. We moved the items over. We have 3 portal, 2 scholar, 2 witchcraft versus a 3 honey, 2 hunter, no vanguard, but this is a pretty scary blitzcrank. It's going to slow us down. And then his win con in this battle is to just kill off my backline first and then win the fight just off of a stall with Eternal Winter and healing here. So the question is, do I have enough DPS to get through this before his Ziggs takes out my backline? And I believe this Ziggs should attack the Zoe first before the Ahri. And I also don't know if this Poppy I don't think this Poppy will block this path because I think this Poppy will probably walk over here. And I want to say this is going to be 2 casts on Zoe to take out, and then like 3 casts on Ari to take her out. So the question is, can Ari basically, can these 5 units with Portal take this out before Ziggs does 5 casts? But keep in mind, this Eternal Winter is going to slow down our attack speed. The other thing is that this Portal, if I view as an additional unit, I have like 6 units, and bombing this will actually be really valuable. Though if I can't get through this front line, I don't have backline access, except for Ari actually has the Foxfires that deals damage to additional units, but I don't think it's like that much damage. So I don't know. I'm gonna guess that I win by 1. I don't even know what unit I would win by. Like maybe this, or maybe these 2 get knocked out by Ziggs, and then like, you know, we clean up the fight. But I'm just gonna guess we win by 1 because I'm gonna add another portal. But this looks super scary. I think I either win by 1 or lose by like a lot. Maybe by like 3. All right, I'm gonna say I win by 1 or lose by 3, and I'll guess I win by 1. Oh, okay. I lost by 2. That was actually really close. I kind of want to go back. Yeah, at this point, wait, I also want to count how many bombs it took Ziggs. Okay, the portal bomb was huge value. 1, 2. Oh wow. So I didn't account for portal healed the Zoe, so it actually took more than 2 Ziggs bombs, but I just couldn't kill it. Like he went through my whole front line before his front line even died. Okay. So Blitz, if you can get 3-item Blitz with Eternal Winter, that's just guaranteed stage 2 dominance. Yeah, because my board's pretty strong. I guess my front line's not that great, but with Portal too, like I thought I was pretty strong. Yeah, that Blitz 2 is strong. All right, what do we have here? We have Stoneplay is the new item slam I have. He has Rageblade BT backline Seraphine with 3 mage and a 2 Vanguard frontline Blitz 1 with Warmogs. We have Sugarcraft here, not really doing much, and a Hunter emblem also not doing much. The question is whether he can scale this Rageblade, although this BT is like not really doing much for them. And I'm at level 5 and they're at level 4, so I think I win this one pretty easily. He really doesn't have that much damage. I guess it really depends on the angle at which Seraphine's gonna do her wave, her ability. But even then, I think at best it's just gonna kind of tickle this Ari and maybe even let her cast faster. So I'm gonna guess we win by 3, like maybe 1, 2, 3 units. All right, good. Got a prediction right finally. Okay, we got 5 versus 4. Crown Guard, we got 3 mage. He has heroic, was it duplicators? I forget what it's called. Good items, but only 4 units and no 2 stars. So I think I win this. Question is, how many units does he kill? This Vhagar is going to have a lot of burst. So I'm going to guess he gets through these 2, but not these 3. So I win by 3. So that's 1 cast, 2 casts, didn't even kill the Galio. Yeah. Oh, almost killed that. So 1 by 3. Good. All right, next game. Oh, jumped too far. All right, next game, Frosty Frontline. All right, we're at level 4 with 3 Frost, 2 Hunter, a slammed Sterax against 3 units, Rage Blade, 2 Witchcraft, 2 Bastion. So we definitely win this. It would be easier to win this fight if we could kill this Lilia first to get our Frost Soldier up. And I think he maybe at best gets through these 2, maybe not even gets through this Sterax on the Warwick. So I would say I win by 3. Okay, 1 by 4, he can get through that. Oh, yeah, I forgot Sterax also gives a shield. All right, we have same board on my side. 2 Shapeshifter with an Elise 2 and 2 upgraded backlines that are traitless. Dragon's Claw. So he has 1 more full item there, but we do have the Protector's Vow on the Frost Wolf here. And so again, I think it would have been more optimal actually if all of my units were on the left, because I might have been able to kill this Jace first, which would spawn a Frost Soldier. Frost is really important for positioning now that I'm looking at this a lot more. Both because you want that Frost Soldier up, and with a Hunter opening, Hunter, how does it work? When you get a takedown, it boosts the AD. And so it's especially important to get a takedown early in the fight. And I could have, if I lose, it is solely because I can't kill this Jace before the Elise. Especially since he has so many upgrades. So I think I either win by 1 or I lose by possibly like 3. Because my front line is not very good and he has a lot of DPS. I'm going to guess I lose by like maybe 2 then. I guess I lose by 2 because this positioning is awful on my side. And this Declaw has like healing. Now he has backline access with his Ziggs. Okay, lost by 2. That was all positioning diff. Gotta make sure with Frost that we are positioning in a way to kill a unit. Okay, this time is better. We are positioned to kill this Lilia, which will get the Frost Soldier, but I should have moved this Twitch here. I think what I was thinking was that I could get damage across all of these units, and I might have been trying to position against someone else as well, but yeah, this Twitch here would have been better because this straight line could also hit the Namzi, not just this straight line, and at least this way. Oh, but I don't even have Hunter, so actually this might not matter as much, at least as far as the takedown value, but getting the soldier up faster, this helps. Plus this guy has a stone plate, and I'm not, this Twitch is not going to kill this. At best it's like tickling the back line, so this Twitch here would have been a lot better. And Kai is level 5, Kai Wang is 5, I'm 4 with this wolf. With Shojin stone plate, oh, he has prize fighter, so that's why he's pushing level so hard. I think I lose this. I definitely kill these 2, I think. And it really depends if I can get to the back line, which I don't think I can, because this Jax is going to walk closer this way. And then okay, so let's see. If we kill this, Frost Soldier spawns. And I don't think we kill this Poppy before this dies. So then Warwick will start attacking here. And then we'll have to attack the Jax. And this Namzi will start aggroing on this Warwick after this Frost dies. So I'm going to guess this is I'm going to lose by 1, 2 at least, maybe 3. These 2 die for sure. I'm just going to guess I lose by 2. All right, we're gonna get the Frost Soldier. Oh, wow, that was really close. Only lost by 1. Now I wonder, that maybe was actually winnable then if this Twitch was here, because at least the way this fight played out, that amount of HP could have been killed by just 2 of like Twitch's backline hits. And I kind of want to see when Twitch was first attacking, did he get... Oh, okay. No, Twitch is already probably hitting the Namzi here. Let's look at this cast. Right here. Okay, yeah, never mind. So maybe... Well, but if the Twitch was here, he would have killed this faster and then killed this faster. The focus fire, I think, still would have made a difference on adding more DPS to my side. So I still think it's possible that moving this Twitch here could have actually won the fight. The other thing is that, never mind. I was going to say this Zillion here to the left may have been better to target the Poppy, but he's already targeting the Poppy. Because Zillion does an AoE blast, hits adjacent units. So if he was attacking Jax or Lilia, that would be more suboptimal, but he is attacking the Poppy. All right. So we have an upgraded Warwick. Oh, full open, double down player. Okay. So we have an upgraded, actually all 4 of these are upgraded. We're at level 5. He's at level 5 with 2 units upgraded. No 3 mage and 4 Seraphine. 2 Preserver, 2 Sugar, 2 Vanguard with Patient Study. So no combat value. We have Frosty frontline. So definitely think we win this. The question is how many units does he kill? He definitely kills this. I think he can kill this. And maybe at best this. So we win by 3 or maybe 4 with the shield. I don't think he has enough DPS. So I'm going to guess we win by 4. The other thing that Demasi and Raptor mentioned to me recently is this Runon's Hurricane is really good on warriors because it helps them get takedowns. So even if this Namzi wasn't attacking that Warwick initially, but the additional like bolt could get a takedown and then get the hunter the additional AD is very strong. All right, so we won by 3. They barely took out that Warwick in the front, but so far we've been pretty accurate with that. All right, so we went through a number of games and went through this analysis of just like kind of going back to that execution section, right? How do you play the strongest board in the early game, preserve HP, and being able to see how a fight's gonna play out, how you might be able to position better, and then more importantly, being able to use that prediction ability to then decide whether you're going to win streak, loss streak, push levels, whether you should slam your items. Practicing this exercise can help you strengthen your stage 2 significantly, which should make the rest of your game easier as well. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know in the comments if there are additional thoughts, maybe suggestions that you have on future videos, as well as maybe any analysis that I got off. And also I'm just interested generally in your thoughts about the intro section and some of the spieling I'm doing there. Please let me know in the comments. And otherwise, I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and I'll see you in the next one.